everybody. I know everybody's running late, dealing with a number of things that are going on. This is Ginger here in Lakewood. This is Ginger's Rant Show, and it's 1 o'clock here, and it's 84 degrees. I'm trying to keep this cool as much as I can here. I'll be so glad when this heat wave's over with. They keep saying, well, it's going to peter out tomorrow, and then it'll start cooling down Sunday. Then I get another thing that says, well, it's going to extend into Sunday. And so, it's from two different sources. The actual source from the National Weather Service says it will extend it through tomorrow. I hope so. I'm really tired of fighting this, and I just really want it cooled down. All I want to do is just be comfortable. That's all I want. And I'm sure everybody wants to as well, and all across the country. Anyway, I hope anybody's going to pop on, but I'm just waiting to see. I know some are having some issues, and this past week the solar flare has not helped the internet or anything any of you notice that our emails are slow coming in. So that makes it kind of tough. Anyway, hey Dorothy, how you doing down in Florida? Like I said, I'm really tired of fighting this heat. I really am. So, my cats don't like it either. They're sleeping on the floor, and Cyrano's favorite spot's under the bed, which is cooler for him. So, he's down there. And I think Loki's favorite spot, Loki's favorite spot is in the kitchen. He sleeps next to the refrigerator. Anyway, for the news today, a so-called pro-Trump social media influencer has been convicted of disorderly conduct and disruptive conduct regarding the January 6th thing. January 6th insurrection. He's been sentenced to 3 months in home detention and 3 years of probation. So he has a federal conviction tick on his record. Some of these, they elected not to put him in prison. They felt that the home detention, and since he did not do anything serious, but he still violated the law. So, but he was upset the fact that the CNN and MSNBC, I think it is, first the records were sealed, and when they demanded or asked for the documents relating to that case, the records were unsealed and they were released through the Freedom from Information Act. And he was upset about that. Well, that's just too bad because it's public record, and he needs to be told it's public record, and this would happen. So, I guess they didn't mention his name. I don't think they did. Hold on a second. Let me check. Okay, upset after documents detailing substantial cooperation with the FBI are released. This is through NBC News. His name is Brandon Straka, and anyway, he's, they don't won't state where he's from, but he's from the East Coast somewhere. Anyway, he got into trouble, basically. So anyway, he's on probation and will be on probation after he serves a 3-month home detention sentence. And probably has to wear an ankle bracelet to keep track of it and everything. So, and the next thing, now I'm getting a little confused here. I understand that there was a deal between Senator Schumer and Manchin, the other guy, Democratic, so-called Democratic guy, they got a climate deal together. And they, of course, they kind of pushed out Sinema. Anyway, it passed the Senate and then it goes on to the House. Well, they said they still need a thing from Sinema. So I don't know if it's really passed yet. Because when I listened to Stephen Colbert last night, he said yes, it's passed. And it's been sent on to the House for signature. And the climate deal is supposed to address what's going on right now, since we're dealing severe heat, severe flooding. Well, you saw what's happening in Kentucky. Kentucky's not exactly flat land. It has a lot of hills and gullies and creeks and everything, and yeah. If you remember the geography of that state. And then, of course, Lake Mead is almost way down, and they also discovered more bodies in Lake Mead. And so a lot of them think that in that respect, it's mob related. Anyway, the climate deal, and also address the carbon emissions, that type of thing that's going on. And we need to get a handle on this, we really do. Also, Ukraine is kicking Russia's butt. And there was this one story, I don't know how true that story is, unless it's being influenced by a unscrupulous media company, stated that the Ukrainian army is frustrated because they can't fire any missiles into Russia. Well, my thing is, why not? Because Russia's been firing into Ukraine, so why can't Ukraine fire back? And we got a lot more. They got a lot more accurate weapons there than Russia does. Russia, their weapons system hasn't been upgraded. They're 1970s grade, 60s grade weapons, and so they're not upgraded. They don't have any advanced computer systems or anything. Well, okay, that's fine, Dorothy. Go for it. So, anyway, Ukraine should be allowed to fire into Russia and knock out their weapons plants, whatever. And they said, well, that kills people. I go, well, what do you think Russia's doing? And that's the only language that Russia understands. Putin understands. And I think now the Russian people should overwhelm Putin and overwhelm their FSB and overwhelm their police and say, no, we need to get rid of this guy and get a proper government in there to work everything. Also, after year 2024, 2 years from now, Russia's going to be no longer using ISIS, and they'll be building their own space station. Well, I do hope they park their space station somewhere on the other side of the planet and not anywhere near International Space Station. International Space Station is going to be good for until 2030, until the new 4 new space stations are put in place. When that happens, then they will retire, move everything out of ISIS, and maybe take some of the modules and put them on the new space stations. You know, hey, hi. Come on, Loki. There we go. This is my cat, Loki. And you're full of burrs. Hi, baby. Hi. He likes to cuddle. Even though it's a little hot, but he likes to cuddle, right? Right? You like to cuddle? So anyway, that's what's happening there. Next month, Artemis is supposed to launch. Let's see, let me check that when it's supposed to launch. Hold on a second. On July 31st, Rocket Lab will be launching its NROL 199 launch, and that happens in New Zealand, I believe. And then NASA will be launching the Artemis 1 launch that goes to the moon. And then it'll be coming back on August 28th. So that'll be the 2 launches that are happening in space there. So people are trying to get things done, some are trying to stay cool, stay safe. I was able to do my laundry, get that done and everything. Yeah, my finger's still a little bit sore. It's not, I had a cortisone shot the other day, and it's still, that spot there is still swollen there, where what they call the, pulley, center part pulley, is nowhere near the carpal nerve. But the pulley sometimes doesn't work properly, and then sometimes when it slips, then it'll lock. Well, the cortisone shot is supposed to get rid of the irritation on that, and see if we'll get it to stop doing that. I got it checked in 6 weeks in September. September 8th is when I go in again and get it checked again to find out what's going on. And this is, the personal part. The other part, I'm trying to find a new dentist, and so that's a challenge. I flashed a note to my insurance company and said, hey, I need you guys' help here on this. We need a better listing of who's in, in network, if you will. Let's see, what else? Let's see what else to talk about. Fox News is dumping Trump. I mean, they're literally dumping he who shall not be named, which is cool. I'm glad to see that, and a lot of them don't. Good majority now of the GOP don't want him in there again. They don't. They need people with experience and everything else. They need better people. Well, like Liz Cheney. I don't mind that she's GOP. We should not be lumping them all together in one group. You have the radical, super radical fringe that are mostly Trump followers that you worry about. You worry about those guys. The other part, I think the GOP now is pushing them out, getting rid of them and pushing them out. You know, I think it's about time we need to get decency and community service being the forefront back in again. And if people say, well, that's not going to happen, I go, then when you're saying that, that means that you are condoning it. You're not standing up and pushing back. You need to push back on those issues and say, look, this is what needs to happen. You need to get smart, critical thinking people in there. And you need people to think outside the box and, you know, just get things resolved. That's what we really need to do. We need to get rid of the greed. That has to stop. Price gouging has to stop. And the oil companies now are losing money because people are now going hybrid electric or hybrid electric and electric cars. Hybrid electric really works in a lot of ways because you can't really, since you can't really plug in per se, the what it is on the gas, when the car runs on gas, it automatically charges your electric part of your car. And you just, when you run around town, you run electric. Then when you're on the freeway, you go on gas. And they said, you're shedding. I have a cat that shed. You know, I think that's a neat way of going. Really am. Those are electric, and if they have the capability and they do have a recharging station at home, then hey, that's fine, all for it. You know, go for it. They're trying to find a way of still maintain the roads through taxes, and really what they should do is revamp here in this state of Washington. They need to revamp the sales tax and the tax systems here. Need to revamp them, update them, and make it more efficient. They should not be taxing everything under the sun. They should just be on more like the big ticket items they should be taxing. Not the little stuff. And food is not taxed. So, you know, they should work on that aspect. Anyway, since everybody's gone on their vacations, taking a break, dealing with some other issues, and some are having electrical issues, you know, like brownouts and blackouts. You know, do what you need to do. And I'll see when my Mariners play again. I think they play again later this afternoon. They're down in Houston right now. Let's see, what else? here. Um, well, I'm thankful I don't bank with Bank of America, Citi, or Wells Fargo anymore. I bank with a credit union. Apparently there's a banking scam going on that's affecting those customers. And I understand Dr. Oz is having issues. Dr. Oz is in trouble. Yeah, the GOP says no, they're raising the alarm bell. They don't want him in there. So, and this is the battleground. Now is over in Russia. CNN exclusive Russian officials requested adding convicted murderer to Griner and Whelan prisoner swap. So they're willing for that. Go do that. So we'll see how that goes. They're trying to bring her and one other American home. And Russia really has no business. I don't trust their court system. I don't trust the Russian government, period. They need an overhaul, and Russian people should go in there and overhaul Russia, the government itself. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off early. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you on Monday, Judah's Rant show. So I do hope to see you then. And I'm trying to stay cool as much as I can. Right now it's 87 degrees, so. Anyway, stay cool, stay safe, and love to all, okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.